Hello, my name is ToppeePop and I've been looking for a planet to make a documentary about. I've traveled through time, dimensions and many galaxies, and I think I found an interesting planet. This planet is placed in a very similar galaxy to the Milky Way. It is as if this planet I discovered was Earth, but with close inspection, it is not Earth. Think of Earth, but the continents are completely different in sizes and shapes. And not only are the continents on the surface of the ocean, there are also continents floating in the sky. And you can barely see it, but with the right angle and light, you can see a continent sunk deep in the ocean. I decided to first explore a continent on the ocean's surface, named Amaran. And in this land, it was filled with so much greenery and life. Though there was one very peculiar thing, and that would be the fox statues, scattered everywhere in this land. The statues were usually in a heroic pose, which suggested to me as if this majestic mythical fox acted as a hero for this land. I wanted to know more about this land, so I decided to talk to some people. The first person I met was Rachel. Long, silky gold hair that glistened through the sun's light, emerald eyes and pale skin. She seemed like the observant and calculating type, and very faintly, I could sense a bit of cunningness in her, just like a fox. Now, this is top secret information, not to be spread anywhere in Amaran, but she told me that there are people who have supernatural capabilities called spiritual powers. I didn't believe her, but she convinced me with her puffy orange tail with a gradual blending to white at the end of the tail. It seems that her spiritual powers give her the ability of what a mythological fox is capable of. But for some reason, I sensed something deeper in her spiritual powers. I then talked to someone named Jacob, light brown hair and a bit of a tan skin color than Rachel's. He was wearing black sunglasses, so I wasn't able to see the color of his eyes, but I could tell he had experienced martial arts through the build of his body. He also had an intimidating aura, but to me it feels like he was always misunderstood. And I could tell this because even with the intimidating aura, he was very kind and warm in talking to me. He told me that there are objects that also hold spiritual powers, and in Jacob's case, it isn't him who has the powers, but it is the sunglasses he wears. Apparently, he is able to make anything he touches flinch, stopping any sort of momentum towards him pretty much. Very interesting ability. Reminds me of a certain Pokemon. I then met someone with a very strange hair color, something like light grey or silver. His name was Eugene or Fantigo? Those were the two names he told me when he introduced himself. He looked somewhat like a ghost with his very white skin. His eyes were of violet color and had a very mesmerizing deepness. And occasionally, his eyes lit up with blue flames. And when it did, his shy personality converted to a confident, wise persona. His spiritual power is being able to communicate with spirits. And he's also able to draw out powers from the Knight of the Spirit Gates. Don't know what that means, but I must say, this person was really weird. And then I met a volleyball fanatic named Daniel. At least I assume so, as he was holding the castle volleyball. Well, the patterns and the colors were the same, but I didn't see the Mikasa branding at all. He had green hair and electric yellow eyes. He also seemed very athletic as well, and was pretty tall, at least compared to the other three I met. To me, it seemed like he had a determination of some sort. I don't know what's telling me that, but maybe it's because of his eyes or the way he talks. The first time I looked into his eyes, I completely froze and I wasn't able to move, talk or think. It was the most intimidating aura I've ever felt, many times more than Jacob's intimidating atmosphere. But apparently that was his spiritual powers, as he told me after that. I decided I'm gonna research this planet even more. So, join me in my adventure of discovering everything about this world. This is ToppeePop, and welcome to my documentary of Planet Pi.